Did someone really manage to create a worthy spiritual successor of Bloodborne? We have already lost hope, but here it is, The Lies of P. It got fascinating setting with amazing art direction, modern visuals and the very essence of fromsoftware projects. Here, several new game design elements have been added to the formula, so we will examine them closely. There are excellent design solutions and innovations, alongside with a few controversial ones. And if you're ready, get your cricket lantern. We're going on an exciting journey to the game design world of P. The setting is what meets us first. The reimagined story of Pinocchio, performed in Victorian style, is certainly one of the main hooks of this project. To support narration, here we got the exceptional architecture of buildings and interiors that creates a unique visual style of the project. Add here a bit of industrial steampunk, Resident Evil-like countryside, and the spirit of the good old Yarnum in the Krat city streets. The exquisite interiors of the opera and exhibition hall completing this picture. But no matter how it sounds, it's all about the lies. In those tough moral choices that we make on our path. Finally, we see a full-fledged storyline with a character transfiguration arc, which is rare for a project of this subgenre. And from narrative design point of view, this is truly a breakthrough. Not just allusions and references. We can observe how Pinocchio evolving morality-wise. And this what differs Lies of P from other similar projects. The devs were brave enough to change the narration formula, and I must say they did it great. Main storyline and side quests are filled with touching emotions and linked to the original story, providing a completely new perspective on these events. In addition, there are many side quests, Easter eggs and references to other artworks. On backstreets you can meet NPCs, mini-bosses with decent loot, find encrypted mysterious boxes that can lead us to hidden treasures, and of course the phone calls from King of Riddles. From game design perspective, all these optional details are implemented to encourage exploration and make this process exciting and rewarding. But there's more. They even made the puppet language, in which bosses are trying to communicate with us. It may seem gibberish at first, but if you look closely, you can decrypt these messages, and it is a special treat. To be fair, I did it on post-captured videos, since the boss fights are very intense, and being distracted by switching focus on this is often a bad idea. So the bosses. These are the hallmark of such games, and made in the best traditions. Various movesets, phases, and blockable attacks, memorable and large arenas that comforts combat. Here, each boss is unique in its own way in terms of tactics, combat pacing, and suitable equipment. But even mini-bosses and packs of common enemies could provide significant challenge. There are mechanical puppets, humanoids, and carcasses. Later on, you will meet hybrid variations. Each type has vulnerabilities to a certain type of damage, get unique abilities, and impose various status effects with a few minor innovations, as break status that reduce healing effect, or shock that slows stamina regeneration. But the main thing is, there are no straight copy-pasting. Models, animations, movesets, timings, behavior, all differs. There is more than enough variety. Each level section, each game act provide new combat experience. And level design only bolster this. It is definitely one of the strongest elements of the project. Thoroughly designed levels with a large number of paths, shortcuts and traps are made at a top level. At the same time, it is consistent through the whole game, and maintain this approach with a lot of verticality, path connections, narrow ledges and various enemy setups. And of course there are a lot of cheap tricks, like bruisers breaking through the wall. Visually, the art design of the locations is also well performed. Devs managed to harmonize industrial workshops, rocky gorges, grim city streets, exhibition halls, broken puppets junkyard, ancient fortresses, and swamps, so beloved by all Souls-like fans. They took the most of the 4th generation Unreal Engine, even despite distinctive occasional game objects reappearance, high-res textures loading, and temporarily blocked level sections. There are also minor freezes and FPS drops at the start of new sessions, most likely due to shaders loading. But still, if we consider overall performance, it is relatively good, especially with such advanced graphics. Speaking of the visual part, the work on lighting and particle effects should be mentioned. I didn't notice any ray tracing, but lighting sources are perfectly arranged on the scene, although shadows made with the minimum details. Particle effects rich and pretentious, complements the Victorian style with its inherent excessiveness. Now let's move on to the main element of core gameplay, the combat system. Despite the fact that visually Lies of P is a spiritual successor of Bloodborne, pairing or perfect guard if you like, with a fairly short rolls, lack of hyper armor attacks and any poise defense, more like in Sekiro. A lot of mechanics are implemented to encourage an aggressive style of gameplay. For instance, you can restore part of the lost HP after imperfect blocking. All enemies including bosses have hidden stagger meter build-up, and they simply can regenerate HP when not being hit. It is done to make the fights as dynamic and furious as possible. Trying to break the distance, you can stuck between wall and enemy model, and this is dead end. It caused by the game objects collider setup. The thing is that devs should consider to implement script that will push character model out when both collisions with enemy and the wall happened at the same time. I hope they will fix this in the following patches. Now let's consider enemy movesets closely. It will take some time to get used to their animations, especially at the initial stages of the game. The fact is that the durations of attack phases are balanced not the way as most of us used to. A second or two swing phase, followed by lightning strike just in a few frames. So it is very difficult to catch the perfect timing for parrying or rolling. This feature can be judged as a disadvantage of combat system, but you can adapt to this, and in mid-game it becomes easier to catch this window. It may seem frustrating indeed, but it is worth giving it a chance. Besides, you have a huge combat arsenal at your disposal, starting with the weapons and unique assembly system that allows you to combine blades and handles in different variations to create your own fighting style. It is not perfectly balanced though, and personally, after trying all the motivity weapon variants available in the mid-game, I settled on the faster advance-based and elemental ones. It was way easier for me to catch those timings with the faster weapons, but again, maybe it's a matter of taste. Another deadly tool is our Legion arms setup. You can use shock, flamethrower, mines, and the most OP is the full upgraded string. It simply annihilates enemies and shine in a late game. The throwing consumables might be also handy, often it helps in certain situations. But the mechanic of Grinder do not reveal its full potential. Despite the one-time buff, the durability itself literally doesn't affect the gameplay till the very end of the game. It is not necessary feature for the combat system. And from the gaming experience point of view, combat system gives exactly what it should, the challenge and the accomplishment. That's what we expect from such projects. And in conclusion, a few words about the true diamond of this game, the sound design. Bewitching musical accompaniment creates a truly amazing vibes. It is not just about boss fights, in which, to be fair, the music perfectly complements the encounters. Here, the unique gramophone feature added, and it is just amazing design solution. You can enjoy your favorite music in the sweet moments of relief in hotel. As for sound effects and ambient, it is a top tier level. To be honest, I don't even remember the last time I had a creeps from the sound of falling drops or grinding mechanisms. It is brilliant work of sound designers. As a result, Lies of P turned out to be so close yet so far from other Souls-like projects, with its own amazing visual style and game design essence. Joint efforts of Round 8 Studio and NeoV's team made it possible. Despite well-known basic Souls-like idea, this project is truly unique. There are many games in this subgenre, but very few such well-made. For me personally, it was a great pleasure to dwell into its game design and find the truth in Lies of P. And if you have something to share, feel free to join me in comments. On that note, I wanna thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, you know what to do. I'll see you soon. Bye.